That's not where you end up.
Very ignorant pastor's section of hell. It will be filled.
Not a bad synopsis.
Hello, I'm not Brad, and neither are you. And today we're doing a not Brad's Rants. In fact, we're doing I guess, I'm not even going to say who I am. I'm just not Brad. And so we're going to do a Brad Rants. Yeah, some of you know who I am. Some of you don't. I don't care. And I don't feel like I have to explain myself. And I'm going to do my best to not imitate Brad by imitating him the best that I can. So welcome to tonight's show. I also have this particular drink holster, and tonight I'm having a Dalmore Scotch whiskey. And this drink holster glass that you see here before yourself bathe in its excellence, by the way. Not that I'm plugging myself or anything. I'm just saying. That is a great whiskey. It's a port cask age, and it's fantastic. Dalmore, highly recommended. So that's what I'm drinking tonight. And because I'm not Brad and I kind of do what I want, I'm having a Boilermaker, which means I'm also having a beer with this drink in our Hard Drinks for Hard Theology glass. You can get any of that at the website, alternatemedia.com, in the merch section. That is a, what is it called? The Oktoberfest by Sam Adams. Okay, so I'm new to this whole thing. I'm seeing all this stuff for the first time. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm kind of having a panic attack in the background, for those of you who don't know. I know I look calm, cool, and collected. Thank you very much, by the way. But I'm not. And I am, in fact, sweating through my shirt, which you can also get at alternatemedia.com. So, producer of mine, please do my bidding. Play the video. Wow. Okay. As a massive Dungeons and Dragons fan who has been playing for many years, that is what I imagine my bard can do. College of Swords, by the way, in case you were wondering. His name is Xander of the House Undaris. But wow, that guy is like actually really talented on a church lute. That's a crazy, like really super unique instrument. I'm actually a musician, like in real life. I play trombone, guitar, drums, fiddle, or violin. I'm actually classically trained, but I like the fiddle better, even though it's the same instrument. Or is it? But a church lute, that's pretty cool. That's a really cool sound. And I just love that like old school medieval style anyway. Green sleeves is like my guilty pleasure. Yeah, once again, I have no idea what's happening. So you're seeing it raw as I am. You're seeing it for the first time, I hope. I'm actually not chronically maybe, but I'm pretty chronically online. So I'm hoping we don't see any videos I've already seen, but that remains to be seen. So let's see what's next.
The Lord said to Noah, there's gonna be a floody. The Lord said to Noah, there's gonna be a floody. Get those children out of the mighty children of the Lord. The Lord told Noah to build him an arky. The Lord told Noah to build him an arky. Build it out of hickory, barky, children of the Lord.
Overwood.
The animals
Wow. So 2 music ones in a row. I feel like my producer knows who I am. So the All American Rejects version of Bible stories. Really digging that. But yeah, some of the animals run on the ark in not in more than 2s, in 7s, the clean ones. But that's a detail often overlooked. But I don't I don't know how I feel about treating that genre with such childishness with the twosies. But but not gonna lie, kind of slaps. I'd listen to it again probably. So what is the title of a song like that even? I write sins, not tragedies, kind of stuff. A little too on the nose, maybe. So cool. I think that warrants a little bit of Oktoberfest. Very good. I think I'm ready for the next one.
A croissant or indeed any type of patisserie. Remember, what we do not do is dunk a little bit into our coffee or chocolat chaud.
How many times must I repeat myself? What's the matter, sir? Doing it again, Pickledick. They're dunking their croissant in their chocolat chaud. Into their what, sir? Their chocolat chaud. What's a... Oh my goodness, Pickledick, are you not even a little bit by? I'm not, sir. I thought you were through with a hot chocolate, you straight imbecile. Oh, hot chocolate. I like hot chocolate. I like getting that twisty bread and dunking it in. Twisty bread? Take a knee, Pickledick. Yes, sir. And write this down. Okay, sir. Anyone found to be dunking their croissant in their chocolat shall be beheaded. Beheaded, sir? Well, from when? Henceforth. And forthwith.
Ruined the perfect format for the bit. Okay, so first of all, that's just what French sounds like. He wasn't doing a bit there. That's French. That's just what it sounds like. But secondly, I feel a little attacked. All right. I'm straight and I love cooking shows. Gordon Ramsay can plate rocks. All right. The guy is great. I don't care what anyone says. And so I'm upset that he didn't mention metrosexuals. I'm just, I feel like, not that I fit into that category. I'm not saying that I do. I'm just saying on behalf of the metros everywhere who are into cooking shows and happen to be straight, but have tendencies that would be questionable otherwise, like Stewie Griffin, would be otherwise upset. I'm speaking on their behalf. I'm not speaking for me, and it purely hypothetical situation that someone would be upset about that. But the French is spot on. Absolutely spot on with that French there. And it's croissant. It's croissant. That's how you say it. That's just how you, with the little swirly bits. So yes, I'm a foodie. I'm that guy. I'm the one who wants to take a field trip to Michelin star restaurants. Now you know a little bit more about me. I'm not just a snob about whiskey and cigars. I'm also kind of a food guy. So yeah, I feel a little I mean, I don't feel attacked. I mean, the aforementioned metrosexuals feel attacked. Not me. I think I'm ready for the next one.
It must suck to be that dumb. Americans do not deserve to be governed by deeply weird, narcissistically woke people who hate George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, Dr. Zeus, and Mr. Potato Head, who carry around Ziploc bags of kale to give them energy. By the way, to me, kale tastes like I'd rather be fat.
What do you think of the new leadership, Jasmine, AOC, and Bernie?
I think she's the reason there are directions on a shampoo bottle. Goat's milk latte drinking, avocado toast eating insiders elite. You believe that? I'm not saying you're the dumbest person in the world, but you better hope the dumbest person in the world doesn't die. I have the right to remain silent, but not the ability. Sean, with respect, there are times, particularly recently, when I think Speaker Pelosi is one of those people who tried Tide Pods.
So, all right. So I guess I got a new favorite politician. It's fully unhinged. Me when I think no one's listening. I usually don't tend to wax political in my own shows or when I'm appearing on any of the shows that we do here at Ultimate Media. But I mean, where was the lie? So and again, I'm not like super involved in politics anyway, so I didn't realize that there was a John Kennedy until just now, which I guess is really showing how politically ignorant I might be. But that was I like that. I like that guy. I like his brutal honesty. So I think I might have a slightly new politician. I tend to lean towards like Rand Paul, but I guess he's doing weird stuff now too, defending drug cartels and boats in the Gulf. So I don't know, don't idolize politicians, people. That's just the end of the story. All politicians kind of suck a little bit. To have a job like that, you sort of have to be a kind of sociopathic, conniving, kind of person. It very rarely do like the best of the best people actually make it as politicians these days, I think. So don't idolize any of them. Just laugh at the good times and be righteously angry at the bad times, and always look back and laugh at all of it, no matter what, because it's all just a big joke at the end of the day. Speaking of big jokes, not a relevant segue at all. You should definitely go check out our website, alternatemedia.com. We've got plenty of good content there. Articles, stuff that we've written, partnership programs that we've other articles written by our partners and stuff like that. If you have any questions, there's a lot of stuff that we've covered on our website. You should definitely go check it out. And we recently added a new bookshelf tab. So if there are any books that we highly recommend that you read, and some of them could possibly wax political, perchance, but as of right now, no. But in the case that it does, you should check out the bookshelf tab and see what we're reading and what we recommend that you read. And all of the links are provided on the website. So definitely go check out that shameless plug as I have another sip of my Oktoberfest. And I guess I'm ready for the next video. I wonder if it'll be political.
We'll show you protest after protest in Israel of Jews carrying Palestinian flags and calling for a two-state solution. Can you show me one protest in Ramallah or anywhere with a Palestinian peace movement with the Israeli flag?
No, we can't do that. You know why?
That's my point.
Okay, let me explain this. You don't expect people that have relatives that have been killed.
And the Jews have had that. This is my point. You have nothing comparable on the other side, and that's what needs to change.
You know why?
Well, why would you say?
I would.
It's considered treason for the
I
agree.
Wait,
I agree. That's the
if you
problem.
allow me.
That all right. So we're doing the political thing. Cool. Got it. Yeah, the Palestine issue. As a historian, it is the most frustrating topic for me. Because Palestine doesn't exist and never did. YouTube's probably going to demonetize this episode for that. I don't care. That's fine. We're not really doing this for money anyway. So if you want to support the ministry, by the way, the best way you can do that is on the website. You can have, we have paid memberships and that does come with some exclusive content. There's certain things that are, articles and recorded, commentaries that we've done that are available only to paying, members. And that's because we put a lot of work and research into this and we just ask for a little bit back. Membership starts as low as $1, but yeah, we, as a historian, it's just so frustrating because you can't compare the whole situation at all to any other situation in human history. It's really solely because of the marketing skills that Palestine has, that anyone even knows that any of this is going on and that anyone supports it at all. It's purely marketing. The same is true of the Trinity in the ancient days, by the way. It's purely marketing and propaganda that perpetuated that idea into being the single most popular Christian doctrine nowadays. But it didn't start out that way, and it had no historical basis. But it obviously, through tons of propagandistic methods that you would see in the same said topic as we're talking about, that it gets so pushed and everyone's on that side now all of a sudden, when, just 45 years ago, this was a non-discussion. But yeah, so, but at the end of the day, my answer is always, where did the Dead Sea Scrolls come from? Who wrote them? What language is it written in? And out of what land did they come from? And how old are they? I mean, that's the end of the discussion. Everything else is commentary or just trash. But yeah, I have strong feelings about the whole Palestinian issue, which is funny because I'm from Ireland and my country of origin does not agree with my stance, not even a little bit. But that's a topic for another day. Next video.
We're so good at putting a positive spin on a story that Jews can't do. Like Passover and Easter happen at the same time. And at Easter, all of my Christian friends were so upbeat and excited, right? They were like, our Lord has risen. And I was like, our bread hasn't. By the way, it's crazy to me that Easter is a happy holiday for Christians. That's how you know that they're good at putting a positive spin on a bad story. The story of Easter is that Jesus died and then 3 days later came back to life. That's a tragedy turned into a horror story. But Christians saw that, and instead of being like, it's the zombie apocalypse, they saw it and they were like, pastels.
I again, showing my other side of my personality. I love the pastels colors, by the way. The San Diego Padres just retired a uniform that I deeply loved. Had the green and pink pastel, bright, beautiful colors. Anyway, yeah. So the story of Easter versus Passover. Yeah. There's definitely like a stark difference, culturally speaking, between the Christians and the Jews when it comes to that kind of thing. And that's one of those, like, it's funny because there's a lot of truth in that. But yeah, and of course we could go in all day about the different origins of where Easter comes from. Not saying necessarily that it's pagan. Looking at you, IP, because I know that's going to give you the angry face at me. But there's, and IP's cool. Actually, he's good people. We've had him on the show before. Good guy. I like what he does, especially with his apologetics concerning Islam. Super good stuff. But yeah, so yeah, good comedy. Good little bit of comedy there. Not sure where else to go with that, so let's take another sip and stand by.
Is a normal teacher versus if Tommy Shelby was your teacher. Normal teacher. Okay, class, so last week we got to chapter 5, so if you could all open your books there, then we can pick up where we left off. Okay, Amy, please, can you stop the chatter? I can barely hear myself think. Versus Tommy Shelby.
Here we go.
Right, sit down, shut up, focus, and pay attention to me.
Whoa.
Now, last week, I gave you homework, and some of you handed in late. Late homework is betrayal, and betrayal has consequence. Betrayal has consequences. Amy, what are you doing? Not on my watch. Remember what happened to Grace, all right? Now keep quiet and focus. Now tomorrow's sports day. Some of you will win, some of you will lose. And I will remember which one you are.
Wow, that was Cillian Murphy impression is fantastic on that guy. I love the Peaky Blinders. I think that was actually a good show. Pretty violent, pretty vulgar in some areas. Not for everybody. I thought it was a good show. But yeah, I not saying I did it before it was cool, but I've been wearing a flat cap before the Peaky Blinders became cool, and now it seems like everyone's doing it. So, but man, I'm such a hipster sometimes. But it's true. I've been wearing a flat cap for the last 15, maybe 16 years. I remember one time I went to Ireland to visit my family because I'm from Ireland, just like Killian Murphy is, who's from Cork, by the way. I'm from Derry. And I was there visiting my family. I was wearing a flat cap. I had a blazer on. It was a tweed one. And I looked like your stereotype Irish drinker in a bar in the middle of Donegal who's a sheep farmer. And everybody in Derry, where I'm from, made fun of me for it. And they were all making Peaky Blinder references because it was the new thing. And everyone was like, you're just wearing it because of Peaky Blinders. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So, but that was a fantastic, what do you call that? Not mimicking impression of Thomas Shelby, Killian Murphy. Yeah, that was really good, actually. If I had closed my eyes, I would have thought that was Thomas Shelby, berating me for causing a ruckus in class. So as long as he doesn't take his hat off and swing it in my direction, though, I think we'll be fine. So next video.
Do not becomes don't. Cannot becomes can't. What about did not? Didn't. Brilliant. So it's just like the apostrophe replaces the O in not. What about will not? Won't. What? Won't. Will not becomes won't. You can't do that. Why can't I? And that doesn't make any sense either. What? You cannot do that. Why cannot I? Why can't I? But you're saying, why cannot I? I'm sorry, I'm going to have to report this to the higher-ups. Don't you dare. Do not you dare.
How are you feeling today? A bit tired, to be honest. Well, we've got work to do. We need a word for the pigment used by artists. Paint. Great. And a word for the art they make. A painting. A painting. Inspired. And a word for the act of making a painting. Painting. Is there an echo? Yes. A verb to describe the act of making a painting. Painting. That's the verb. Yes. I'm painting a painting. I didn't know you could paint. Paint? Yeah. I paint with paint. Painting a painting. Yes. What's wrong with you?
Linguistics are some of the most fascinating topics that I love to study. So although I really get the joke, like I understand how funny it is, there's a part of me that also thinks, well, that's because we're dealing with words and conjugations and forming of verbs from two completely different language sources. So the roots are different, and that's why we do those things differently. Some words we took from the Vikings and borrowed from them. A lot of our words are actually French in origin, and so that's why we have a lot of these differences. And then when we codified English spelling, it happened during the Great Vowel Shift, which happened while the printing press was being invented at the same time. So while spelling was still being figured out, we had to codify and solidify spelling while it was still in the middle of being puzzled together. And so that's kind of why we have the craziness that is the English language. Basically, the downfall of the English language is honestly the printing press. It was invented at the wrong time, right? As English was still trying to figure itself out. And it was going through a phase, and because of the printing press, it became more than a phase, Mom. It's not a phase. And so now it's permanent, and there's nothing we can do, and we can't go back. So there's a lot going on there. I appreciate the joke, obviously, but as a person who studies linguistics, there's actually an explanation to a lot of that stuff, typically speaking. So I'll stop being a nerd for 2 seconds. All right, 2 seconds is over. Next video.
Second kid I ever taught, right, wanted to be a serial killer, right? That was his ambition, right? So what do you want to do when you get older? Want to kill people, right? Lots of them. The teachers would say to me, you shouldn't encourage him, right? But genuinely, it was the only thing that kept him on task, right? So if I said to him, what's 3 times 6? He wasn't bothered, right? But if I was like, mate, you've got 3 bodies, okay? and you've got to dig 3 holes, 6 18-foot, sir. But to save time, I'd burn them. That's initiative, right? There'd be parents in the room, teachers, you know what I mean? You understand, if a kid say something like that, they're saying it for shock factor, so they can push the adult away from them. They get their own way, they can carry on doing what they want to do. So when he said he wanted to be a serial killer, I was like, all right, fair enough. I said, you know, who are you into? He's like, what? You know exactly what I mean? Like Ian Brady, you know, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Harold Shipman, Arthur Shawcross. Who's your vibe? He's like, I don't know what any of them people are. I'm 10. I was like, mate, that's not the point. If you want to be one, that is what you should be aiming for. And the next day, he came in and said Ted Bundy, and I thought, that's the first piece of homework you have ever done. And the thing is, I don't think he'll do it. I don't think he will, right? He might. I might see him on the news in 10 years, like, shout out to Sir for starting me on this journey. You believed in me, mate. No one else did. That's why I spared you. Top man. Top man.
I feel like there's a lot, there's too much in parallel with the crime junkie crowd, right? Like, you know, the females that are super, super obsessed with true crime. And it's like a big red flag kind of to me, I think, anyway. There's a lot in parallel there. I'm thinking, because I feel like I know plenty of women that will rather listen to 8 hours straight of the Crime Junkie podcast than read any other fiction or nonfiction book. And it's a weird obsession. But I mean, hey, cool. Whatever. As long as you don't act on that stuff, whatever, to each their own. But it's a little sus. That's all I'm saying. And that is a good kind of, I guess, not example, but a fun parallel to explore. That's funny. Sounds like some stupid stuff I would say too, honestly, to my own kid, just to make him do some homework. I don't even have kids yet. I'm just waiting for the day where I have to deal with having a kid, and then it would be me, right? It would be me. I would end up with the kid that would be a potential serial killer, and so now I have to find out how to deal with it and work that. There's no parenting book for that, and I am so nervous of the day that I become a parent, and that's something that happens to me. So, it's a deeply held fear of mine. Okay, and it's a legitimate fear. Next video. Oh yeah. So my producer's trying to drop a hint to me as well, because we have this video is brought to you by Biblingo. We've partnered with Biblingo, and they're a Bible language learning app, easily my favorite app. And they have agreed with a partnership to us to give 15% off to anyone viewing this video. Use code AM15 for 15% off of any plan. They have annual plans, monthly plans, and you can learn biblical Hebrew or biblical Greek. And it's not the same as the other learning apps where you learn modern Hebrew or modern Greek. This is specifically biblical languages. Super good stuff. Use code AM15 for 15% off of your plan. And yeah, that's thanks, producer, for reminding me of that. I assume that means we're on our last video, so roll it.
Say something, I don't know if it's too bold, but people ask me, how come the Lubavitcher Rebbe didn't leave a successor? Lubavitcher Rebbe and the Rebbitzin had no biological children. I mean, obviously they knew. Maybe it's not a polite question, but I've been asked the question many times. And I'm going to tell you my sincere answer. Lubavitcher Rebbe most certainly left a successor. You. And when you learn the Rebbe's Torah, it's not just the godless of the Torah. It's that you're being deputized. Tag, you're it. It's on you. Shliach shel Adam Kamaisa. You are now the Rebbe's representative to know and to care and to love a Jew. And that means, I'll spell that out in really simple terms. First of all, charity starts at home. Know what's going on in your children's lives. Be the Rebbe in your home. When your child has something interesting to share, they should come to you and not have to run to their friends. Because if they're not sharing their personal lives with you, who are they sharing it with? And what morals and values do those people have who your children feel bonded to? You just got to pray that maybe they're good people. So number one is, be the Rebbe in your home. Be the one that everyone in your home, your spouse, your children knows, cares. And then build on that. Bring your tefillin with you when you go to the grocery store. Bring your tefillin to work. You go to the mechanic and you're waiting for your car. You bring your tefillin with. Women, bring tea lights in your purse. You cannot leave home without a Shabbos candle lighting guide and tea lights in your purse. Reach out to a Jew. And then when you get used to that, I'll give you expert level. You could be Mekadev from people. Come learn Chassidus with me. Come to the oil with me. Let me tell you about a Jew who loved every single Jew. And let me inspire you to be more like that Jew and love every Jew that you meet. The Rebbe left us marching orders, and that is to seek out in love every single Jew in your home, in your neighborhood, in your shul, at the gas station, at the grocery store, at a business deal, wherever it may be, online, social media, wherever it is, until we bring our entire family home.
Chabad Hasidism is what Christianity should have been. It's, if Jesus had started his ministry today, it would have looked like Chabad, 100%. And that is the Chabad mindset, by the way. I've never seen that video before, but I've seen plenty of videos like that. That is the focus, and that is what Christianity was supposed to be like. In a lot of ways. Now, of course, leave it to a Chabad rabbi to talk about tefillin, because all they ever do is go to random places and put tefillin on random people. So I can't help but chuckle at that little fact of the whole thing. So there's a little hidden joke in there too, of course. Just look it up, Chabad memes and tefillin. It's like a whole thing. But yeah, no, that is the sentiment that was supposed to be what Christianity was in its origin, and it's so far and away from that now. But yeah, so I tell people all the time that they may not realize that the Chabad movement is probably the closest thing to what Jesus had intended his movement to become, that exists today. And I think that's a great, his sermon is a great example of exactly that. So, but yeah, I think that wraps it up for us. This video is probably longer than most Brad rants have ever been. I don't apologize for that. So anyway, have a good night. Shalom Aleichem to all of you, and l'chaim.